Fight for your rights and look good doing it. That's fpcgear.com. We actually have a new t-shirt that's kind of along the theme that we've been touching on lately. That is our codeisfreespeech.com. For those of you who have not been involved, who've been under a rock somewhere over the last week, this is a very cool t-shirt. Everyone's been asking. There's still a ton of stuff going on. So for those of you who are unaware of what is going on with the whole 3D gun thing, let me just give you a real quick primer.
It's called the Liberator, a 3D plastic gun with blueprints now available online.
They're publicly available and people can download them if they wish.
The website created by the Firearms Policy Coalition in Sacramento shows step-by-step instructions so anyone can print a plastic gun at home.
It's about as simple as a site can be.
A federal judge on Tuesday temporarily blocked a government settlement that would have allowed a gun rights group in Texas to post 3D gun blueprints online. But the ruling doesn't stop other groups. And Craig DeLuz says the government has no right to restrict what you can say before you even say it.
This case right here is largely about freedom of speech, being able to put information out there, and simply the state does not have the right to infringe on speech.
The 3D printed guns have no serial numbers and can't be traced, and with no metal parts, there's nothing to trigger a metal detector.
I'm very concerned. I think it is a very dangerous publicity stunt that they're doing that could result in someone getting killed.
Critics of the plastic guns worry felons or terrorists will start making them at home. California's Attorney General also fighting back. Javier Becerra announcing today he doesn't want anyone manufacturing what he calls ghost guns.
We're taking action by joining a lawsuit to prevent that downloadable 3D gun information from getting into the hands of the wrong people.
But while the legal battle over 3D guns escalates, Craig DeLuz says he's trying to protect the public's right to know.
We're talking about the exercising of a constitutionally enumerated right, and for some reason many politicians find that offensive.
These guns cannot be traced by law enforcement. They don't have to have a background check, and I don't see any reason why we need these guns out there in the community.
The fight between free speech and public safety is only getting hotter. In Sacramento, Mike Lurie, KCRA 3 News.
Okay, so let's just kind of break it down. You guys saw it all. It's pretty much about free speech. It's about the ability to be able to put information out there. Now, a few things that are clearly not noted that the report ignores is the fact that even the Liberator requires metal parts, which includes the firing pin and the ammunition have to be metal. So it is not undetectable. But that whole part of the argument, that really doesn't matter. The fact that of all of the blueprints that are available, only one of them actually is a 3D printable gun, well, that doesn't matter. The fact that they're talking about manufacturing, guns being quote unquote untraceable. Well, as I've said before, if I file if I get a gun illegally off the street and I file off the serial number, guess what? It is now untraceable. If I manufacture firearms at home, and that's something that I think one of the biggest things that's really got people is they don't even realize that you could manufacture You've already had the ability to manufacture firearms at home. It's been legal forever. As Cody Wilson has stated, and I think we've stated, that as far as I know, there is no law that prohibits us from being able to make this information available. Just like there's no law that makes it that prohibits you from buying online the Anarchist Cookbook, where you can learn how to make Molotov cocktails, even though making Molotov cocktails is in fact illegal. So, as you know, we launched a website. What happened was 8 attorneys general, which now it's 9, including Javier Becerra. So they filed suit. Now all of a sudden, Cody Wilson was not able to, or they got a temporary injunction. So Cody Wilson had to take his site down, and so we launched our own site, codeisfreespeech.com. What we've found happening is been a very, very interesting bit of censorship by Facebook. Facebook has decided that anything relating to anything that includes a link to codeisfreespeech.com, if it includes a link, guess what? The link is disabled. It doesn't matter if it's a bit.ly link, doesn't matter what it is. If you include a link to Code is Free Speech, to our website, you are then censored, which is kind of interesting because we also had Amazon took down our initial website because they said it violated the law, even are fighting free speech when it's literally we're talking about code. We're talking about that which makes their existence possible. Figure. But we have found ways around. Many of you have probably noticed that if you follow us on Facebook, that our profile picture has changed. This little nifty QR code will take you exactly where you want to go. So, just in case you guys are wondering. Also, in the realm of fake news, we obviously saw a lot of interviews over the weekend. One of them included Cody Wilson on Fox News. Now, normally I am a fan of Chris Wallace. He is someone who is not afraid to ask the hard questions. But unfortunately, in this particular interview, he decided to go the how shall we say? He decided to go the cheap way. I mean, really didn't really take the time to do what I would consider to be his job in making sure that he fully understood what it was that he was getting into, or what this whole particular discussion or debate is about. And it was unfortunate because let me go back. I won't say that it was unfortunate because I think that Cody Wilson had a chance to really kind of put him in his place. And I'm going to just play a little bit of that interview for you. So let's get it up here.
He's been called one of the most dangerous people in the world for his push to put blueprints online to make guns on 3D printers. And now Cody Wilson is at the center of a legal battle over making that information available to everyone on the internet. Mr. Wilson, Director of Defense Distributed, joins us now from Austin, Texas. So, simple question. Why on earth do you think putting these blueprints for plastic guns online is a good idea?
Hey, Chris. So I've put the blueprints for all types of guns, all technical plans, all data, all blueprints past and present. I've put them all online, and that's the right that I've secured. It's not like I'm somehow only fascinated by the idea of a printable gun. That was just a mere technical demonstration of a much wider possibility of the digital production of firearms, which is in no way precluded by current law.
But as I understand it, you say this is your First Amendment right. You're talking about information that you're putting online, not what happens after people receive that information. But I don't have to tell you that the First Amendment is not an absolute right. You're not allowed to cry fire in a crowded theater.
So there he goes. And it's the funniest thing. I just, every time I hear this, every time I hear this argument, and the worst part is it came from a guy who normally in my opinion, I have a lot of respect for, but in this particular case, he's wrong. You know, and Cody Wilson did a great job of addressing it. He notes that the fire in a crowded theater, that has been bad law and bad precedent for 30 or 40 years, and has been completely and utterly thrown out. And it has to do, once again, with liberty. It's the idea that, yes, you can yell fire in a crowded theater, in particular if there's a fire. And what they're not allowed to do is they're not allowed to put duct tape over. We don't put duct tape over people's mouths before they go into the theater. You guys have heard me say this before. Pretty much, that's where that was. But all of this is to say that what we're seeing now is we're seeing entities like the news media fighting against free speech. We're seeing technology companies fighting against free speech, all because of this perceived, and I say perceived, threat. Because the one thing Cody Wilson isn't going to say about his Liberator is, and once again, I've never fired one, so all I can do is look at the anecdotal evidence of what I've heard from people who have had a chance to check out this firearm, that it's not very reliable. It's not a great firearm. It is, by definition, a firearm, but it's not it's not the best. It's just not, it's not what the media is making it out to be. Let's put it that way. The ones they're really scared of, once again, are the 80% lowers, the firearms that people have already, by the way, been able to manufacture and been manufacturing or making at home for those who are dedicated or interested in that particular process. But once again, it's a war. It's a war and a battle of misinformation. And unfortunately, as noted by Mr. Chris Wallace, even those who would normally be on our side and agree with us on a lot of these issues, well, they're misinformed as well. So please make sure that you share this information, share the information that you get here with folks. Let them know exactly what this is about. Let them know that this is not about putting guns in the hands of terrorists. This is about making sure that we don't allow our First Amendment right to be shut down because we choose to express our support or to use it to help exercise our Second Amendment right. That is what this whole conversation is about. I personally, I don't want a 3D gun, a 3D printed gun. I don't want to liberate it. I don't want one, and I know most of you out there don't want one either. But that's not the point. Just like for every person out there, there's tons of people out there who don't want to carry, they don't want to conceal carry. But it's not about what you wanting to conceal carry. It's about you having the right to do so if you desire to, right? Or not conceal carry, but to carry a firearm, to be able to bear arms, right? It's about your ability to be able to do it because you have the right to. It's not about the information. It's about being able to communicate truthful, non-misleading, non-commercial speech, being able to communicate that because you have a right to. And when the government, because here's the thing, when government shuts down speech that it finds offensive, it's not going to be long before it starts to find your speech offensive. And if it can take away rights, fundamental rights that it finds offensive, like the right to keep and bear arms, it's not long before they can take away other rights, like the right to free speech. Just saying. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for today's Coffee with Craig. I thank you guys so much for tuning in. I thank you guys for being a part of the fight for our right to keep and bear arms. We are the Firearms Policy Coalition, the home in the fight for civil rights. Got to use them or you're going to lose them. You guys take care.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.